You are going to want to hear this one. AI News is reporting on L'Oreal brings Maybelline virtual try-on to ChatGPT. Breaking this down further, L'Oreal has announced a collaboration with OpenAI that will bring Maybelline New York's virtual makeup try-on feature into ChatGPT. The announcement was made at VivaTech 2026. The partnership covers consumer-facing shopping tools, product discovery, advertising pilots, research, and internal content production. The collaboration also covers L'Oreal's internal use of AI in research, formulation, content production. And number 8230, the post L'Oreal brings Maybelline virtual try-on to ChatGPT, appeared first on AI News. For anyone building on top of AI right now, this is exactly the kind of signal you need to factor into your roadmap. The landscape is shifting, and knowing why matters as much as knowing what. The surface-level story is interesting, but the deeper story is about where the leverage points are, which teams are executing with real conviction, and which trends have genuine durability versus which ones are hype cycles that will fade. Our job on this channel is to help you cut through the noise and focus on what actually matters. And developments like this one, when you put them in the full context of what's happening across the industry, are telling us something important about where we're headed. Pay attention to the pattern, not just the individual data point. The implications here are significant for anyone serious about following AI developments. This story caught our attention today, and it should catch yours too. Wired AI is reporting on World Cup scams are getting harder to spot. Breaking this down further, from fake tickets to cloned websites, AI is magnifying World Cup scams. Can fans distinguish between what's real and what's not? It's worth pausing to consider the second and third order effects here. Beyond the immediate news, this creates ripple effects across the ecosystem that we'll be watching closely. New capabilities at the model layer unlock new possibilities at the application layer, which in turn creates new demand at the infrastructure layer. It's a compounding cycle, and each turn of the flywheel tends to happen faster than the last. That's what makes this moment in AI genuinely different from the hype cycles of the past. The underlying technology is actually improving at a rate that justifies the attention. The trick is staying calibrated, excited enough to move quickly, skeptical enough to avoid chasing things that don't deliver real value. That balance is what separates the teams making meaningful progress from the ones just making noise. This is exactly the kind of move that shapes where AI is headed and why staying informed matters. Let's dig into this story. OpenAI News is reporting on Samsung Electronics brings ChatGPT and Codex to employees. The real story here is Samsung Electronics deploys ChatGPT Enterprise and Codex to employees worldwide, marking one of OpenAI's largest enterprise AI rollouts. When you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, this fits into a pattern we've been tracking, a fundamental change in how AI capabilities are being deployed and monetized. The shift from research curiosity to production infrastructure is happening faster than most people expected, and the companies leading that transition are defining the rules for everyone else. What's important to understand is that the decisions being made right now about APIs, pricing, safety constraints, and access policies will shape the ecosystem for years to come. Early movers are locking in advantages that will be very hard to replicate later. If you're building in this space, the time to be paying close attention is not next year. It's right now. If you found this interesting, there's more where that came from. Keep watching for our daily breakdowns. Here's something worth paying close attention to. TechCrunch AI is reporting on when the Trump administration cracks down on Anthropic, who benefits. Here's the important part. On the new episode of Equity, we discussed what actually prompted the administration's latest moves against Anthropic and what this might mean for the AI ecosystem. Think about what this means for the broader AI landscape. Companies and developers who adapt quickly stand to gain a real competitive edge, while those who ignore this shift may find themselves playing catch-up. We're at a point where the pace of change isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. Every week brings another announcement that would have seemed impossible 2 years ago. The organizations paying attention, building internal expertise, and staying close to these developments are the ones who will be positioned to move fast when the right opportunity arrives. The ones that aren't paying attention will wake up one day to find the entire competitive landscape has shifted around them. That's not hyperbole. That's the documented pattern of every major technology transition we've seen in the past 3 decades. This is absolutely worth keeping an eye on as the space continues to evolve at a rapid pace. This story caught our attention today, and it should catch yours too. TechCrunch AI is reporting on Beyond Siri. Here are the practical AI features coming to your iPhone in iOS 27. The key detail you need to know is Siri's AI overhaul may have grabbed the headlines at WWDC, but some of Apple's most useful AI features are arriving elsewhere in iOS 27. It's worth pausing to consider the second and third order effects here. Beyond the immediate news, this creates ripple effects across the ecosystem that we'll be watching closely. New capabilities at the model layer unlock new possibilities at the application layer, which in turn creates new demand at the infrastructure layer. It's a compounding cycle, and each turn of the flywheel tends to happen faster than the last. That's what makes this moment in AI genuinely different from the hype cycles of the past. The underlying technology is actually improving at a rate that justifies the attention. The trick is staying calibrated, excited enough to move quickly, skeptical enough to avoid chasing things that don't deliver real value. That balance is what separates the teams making meaningful progress from the ones just making noise. This is exactly the kind of move that shapes where AI is headed and why staying informed matters. And that's your AI news roundup for today. If any of these stories caught your attention, drop a comment below. I'd love to know what you think. Hit subscribe so you never miss a daily update, and I'll see you tomorrow.